All right. So, getting back to what you love. So, this PowerPoint is going to be all about just getting you back to playing with your kids, getting back to your sport, feeling better, just feeling stronger, feeling leaner, all those things that support those things. This is just the path to it. So, a lot of people don't have a baseline. So, I wanted to make this PowerPoint so that you can have just some easy principles to follow if you have no principles at all. So let's get straight to it. So get back to what you love. General guidelines for improving your health and simplifying your journey. Let's get into it. So establishing a baseline. What is health? Health is simply being alive. You're not alive. You do not have health. Health is your passage from the beginning of your spring and summer years to the end of your fall and winter years. Often, Western interpretation makes this all very complicated, but it's not. In this PowerPoint, I aim to give you a much larger perspective to view and make decisions from, with some simple guidelines to follow along the way. Alrighty. When it comes to your time in your lifespan, there's a natural rhythm that exists. The cycle between outward energy and inward energy. This exists for your lifespan on a large scale and on a smaller scale in each of your days. For a day, for example, the sun comes up, we get up and move, and the sun goes down. We get down and become still. Our activity is seen in the light of day, and the dark of night, the inner restorative activity recurs, but the unseen. So energy goes outward, energy goes inward. In our young spring years, we have more superficial outward energy. So you can picture the energy of a child, lots of physical, tangible movement and skill. Towards our winter years, the end of it, our energy goes inward. So picture the deep energy of an aged composer. An energy has been gathered and refined for harvest. So lots of non-physical movements and skill or energy, such as leadership and wisdom. So the takeaway idea here is that there's a rhythm that exists. And if you can match your day and your seasons together on a large scale or small scale, the music of your life is going to make a good sounding melody. When this gets disrupted, you may experience pain or sickness. Therefore, if you're suffering, perhaps doing too much at work, too little work, thinking too much, not thinking at all, you can identify that in yourself and add its opposite to help create more balance. This also works cosmologically, such as your health will benefit if you go to bed early, and your health will benefit when you rise early, following the seasons of spring, summer, fall, and winter within the day. In short, create a rhythm with proper up and down that works for you, and you will grow stronger for it. So, just like you see these seasons, if you can match yourself to the rhythm of the season, the spring seasons are high and energetic, the fall and winter seasons are kind of low and relaxing. If you can match that with your seasons in life over a long lifespan and in the daytime, so things are more active in the morning of the day, things are more dormant in the end of the day. If you match yourself with those things, with those rhythms, then your body is going to get significantly better just by matching those seasons. Or same thing if you're doing whatever, you're going to do a lot of activity. You should balance it with some time where you do less activity. Or if you do a lot of hard external work, you should have some internal work to help balance that out. So, following the seasons, just take this as a general principle and you will go really far. All right, eating simplified. So, instead of going into exact nutrition, which takes some dedication to researching, let's make it simple and establish another simple baseline of thought. So, rule one, volume and quality. Can you walk uphill after? The idea, don't eat so much you couldn't jog if you couldn't jog if you had to, and don't eat something you know would also make you feel slow enough to not be able to jog if you had to. So be conscious of what you eat and what happens for how much and for what types of foods. So, do I feel like crap after eating this food? Maybe I should not keep eating this food. Do I feel really sluggish when I eat this volume of food? Okay, well, maybe I shouldn't eat this much or at this time of the day. So, number two, eat the sun. So, simple ideas that can take you a long way. Eat the sun, eat what contains life. So, do me a favor and take a big step to be open with me. Think on a molecular level, just atoms, neutrons, protons, electrons, little balls floating around. Why do some of these little balls form a leaf while another forms a heart? Why does air stay up and water stay low? These atoms follow sort of rules, okay? But the rules are not the atoms. So what could we call this? Intelligence? Maybe there's an intelligence in the energy, perhaps. The intelligence of nature. So when we are consuming food, do we want to ingest and absorb the level of intelligence that can form a beating heart on its own? Or do we want to ingest artificial things made by man more often? If the intelligence that created the world has outlasted every man, would it not then be a healthy choice to choose food created by nature rather than something more man made? So I want you to chew on that. Think about that. All this to say, eat closer to natural foods as you can. Eat closer to natural foods as you can. Alexa, stop. Eat closer to natural foods as you can, and your body will thank you. And finally, rule three, drink the moon. So drink what contains minerals. We covered eat the sun, so let's rule out the man-made drinks as well. Drink the moon implies not just drinking water, but consider the water you drink. If you try to run electricity through just plain water, you actually can't do it. There needs to be minerals within the water to help transfer the energy. Water needs minerals to provide life. So find yourself some quality spring water or add electrolytes that work for you and give yourself living water over dead water. So volume slash quality, eat the sun, and drink the moon are three simple rules that can help you organize nutrition in a powerful way to transform your health. All right, moving on. Mental slash spiritual health simplified. So, mental slash spiritual health is important. It will affect your posture, your muscles, your bones, organs, your relationships, etc. This presentation is concerned with fostering thriving life. That being said, whatever religion, spiritual choice, or philosophy you subscribe to, this image tenet should support your inner well-being. The idea was pulled from the hexagram 10 of the I Ching. Many of the Chinese images are just that, an image. An image is to give you an idea and a feel. As if I was to say mountain, I would not just mean mountain, I would mean everything that has to do with the mountain. So, what's it like on a mountain? High. What's the air like? What's the humidity like? Etc. I ask that same lens through here. What is it like to walk on a tiger's tail in such a way that it does not destroy you? So tread on the tiger's tail. What's something that you can do that is just challenging enough to keep you on it? And can you maintain the wisdom in its pursuit in such a way that it does not kill you. The idea of treading on the tiger's tail, tiger does not bite, should give you a healthy image to follow with your daily and yearly working hours. So, this idea, treading on the tiger's tail, can you do something where you're treading on the tiger's tail and it does not bite? Can you do something that challenges you, that interests you, that engages you? Just enough to where you can't completely claim it, and just enough to where it doesn't crush you. If you're doing something of that sort that you find matters, something's worth pursuing, then try to hit a little bit of that each day, and this will be so good for your spirit. And if your spirit's good, everything around it, your body, your bones, your organs, is going to benefit. So find something worth pursuing, take action and pursue it, act in such a way that it can be maintained. All right. So, general advice based on sex. So, in these times, I feel I have to put this here because the roots of tradition are being eroded in this day and age, and having some sort of touchstone is immensely helpful. So, like, what can we actually follow that's going to help benefit us? So, if there's any animosity in seeing this information, first, I implore you to just give it a chance slash consideration. Try try it in your day and see how your life changes. So my simple advice here is for a man to feel very healthy, he should have spaces where he can lead. About 66% of the time is a good ratio according to these ancient symbols, again from the I Ching, which is a very useful text if you ever check it out. It's all about yin and yang and whatnot, and helping support health. So 66% of the time is a good ratio according to these ancient symbols, as it is also important for a man to be led. So leading about two-thirds of the time, but if you look at these symbols, the long lines being yang and the short broken lines being yin, there is this 33% of the time where a man, it's cool to be led. So we should lead and be led, but if we're a man, we lean a little bit to help foster our own spiritual health, lean a little bit more towards the leading side. Mm. The reverse position would be a woman to have spaces where she can be led or can follow, where 66% of the time is also a good ratio, as women will also need to lead. So a lot of times women have to lead a lot more now, and sometimes it's not so fantastic for their health. So having places where they can be led, relax, follow, kind of like dancing or a place to relax, um, being a part of something but not having to lead it is really like nurturing people but not having to be the leader all the time is really good for the feminine spirit. So reversal of this idea reverses the masculine and feminine essence, which can be spiritually like working uphill. It's not bad, it's just harder on the body. So following this idea where one can will bo- where one can will boost a man's masculine essence and boost a woman's feminine essence spiritually and hormonally. In short, as a man, practicing leadership is good for the spirit. As a woman, practicing openness is good for the spirit. Obviously, both ideas can be challenging to practice. If there is not space to practice it, you may have to create or hunt for one for a space or someone willing to set up such a space. Alexa, stop, but it will pay off immensely within your heart, I assure you. This is a small piece of my interpretation of these images. So, for your own further pursuit, you could derive your own advice if you look at these images: fire on the left and water on the right. You can pursue these images in a similar way as I described the image of the tiger before, and see these as role models of man and woman. Man being fire, and woman being water. How to restore energy. So we'll keep this extremely simple. Do nothing. So and when I say nothing, I don't mean scrolling on Instagram or watching TV or eating sweets, etc. I'd say walking or sitting and meditating are good, but take a break from the entertainment. Think how much energy you would have if you were in prison. All that energy that builds up and restores itself when you're bored. It's like a fountain and you're tapping into it, you're accessing it. So, of course, of course, like we learned in the beginning, we don't want to go too far on this side of the spectrum. So just doing nothing, you know, on and on and on and on. But in this day and age, where entertainment is available 24/7 at any second, we often don't realize too much of this drains us. So remember, you always have the superpower to stop and do absolutely nothing. Actively do nothing. Abstain. And your batteries and need to start doing again will return. So this is how meditation can be useful when you're sitting and just concentrating on your breathing. You're just reducing your engagement with all these things. That engagement with all these things, even your thoughts, it's a lot of energy. So reducing engagement helps that energy restore itself. So do nothing, draw from the power of no thing, turn off the music, turn off the phone, turn off TV, separate from food, drink, yeah, that food entertainment too, right? Eating those sweets. Then the energy will return itself. So, summary. In summation, one, health is your beginning and end. So let's enjoy this journey. Two, follow a rhythm and the rhythm of the seasons, and you will sustain healthy integrity throughout your life. Three, when eating, consider volume/quality. Do I actually feel good after eating this or this much? Eat the sun. Is this food mostly made by nature or man? Is this ho- time, does it still contain life in the plant or the animal? So does the food objects contain life, whether it's a plant or an animal? Drink the moon. Is what I'm consuming of nature and still have nature in it? Does it contain minerals as if I was drinking from a spring? 5, tread on the tiger's tail and don't get bit. Am I doing something to me? Am I doing something that is worth pursuing to me each day? If so, this energy will help preserve your health. 6, sex. Are you a man? Foster a place to lead, and your spirit will find reward. Are you a woman? Respect and nurture a place to be led, and your spirit will find a reward. And finally, recharge your batteries. Do nothing. Get away from all the screens and sweets, and your energy will return in no time. So get away, or yes, this simple list of advice should give you a fantastic baseline to not only preserve your health, but to create a foundation to thrive from. So thank you for spending this time with me and taking the time to gather and ponder on treasures that will enhance your life. This is Jacob with Middleweight Training, and take care.